some project out in Los Angeles where they're digging a tunnel under the expressway. They're going to do several layers of tunnels in order to ease the traffic situation. I think it's all in theory right now. But
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it could be. Let's take some phone calls. Okay. I want to get your thoughts in a minute because we were here together covering the election returns.
Yes.
And to watch it play out that night. Let's get a call or two here. And did I just hang up on everybody? I think I did. Have you done this before? Yeah, it's happened before. Let's see here. Let's try this one. I think somebody's still here. You're live with us on the.
Yes.
Yes. How are you?
Hi, I'm live with Dan Reeves.
Yes.
That's how I am. Man.
I know that. Hey, Josh.
Hey, man. I was listening to your show. You're in the afternoon now. Great.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. I wasn't sure. Josh is here. The only reason I mention that is so that Josh knows where he's at, sort of a thing. You were just telling me where I'm at. I got you, man. Yeah, thank you, Josh. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. It's a little cold, but I tell you what, you guys are speaking about automation to the industry. Automation-isms. That's actually what my friend Steve Saylor, he coined that term. How we should 90% of the jobs people are doing today don't need to be done. They're just trading, like they could be automated, like self-checkout.
Well, Kroger seems to have gotten out in front of that. Walmart quickly caught up with it. But at some point, though, they're going to have to start paying me if I'm going to do the job.
I want a W-2.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the next thing you're going to do, Josh, is stock the shelves before you pick up an item.
Load up the freezer.
Right, because I noticed the prices hadn't come down as they eliminate jobs.
They've gone up, actually,
right,
in the grocery store.
Do you know that corporate profits now are, I think it's average 54% profits.
Wow.
It typically is around 14%.
Right.
So they are single-handedly pushing us into toward a recession, but certainly inflation is, if you want to point to one thing, it's the corporate greed. Because when they were making 14% profits, they were making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they own the country, the Supreme Courts, they own the Senate, we got to understand that when it's national politics, the politicians are only there to present the illusion of choice. You really don't have a choice.
Do you really believe that?
Yeah, it's super PACs.
Dan,
money.
What do you think would happen? Exactly. Dark money. What do you think would happen if someone started to issue a free issuance and an equal distribution currency, and we took the profit out from the motive and actually started sharing resources, a resource-based economy, you might call it. We could really elevate the whole world, man.
Yeah, but there's a reason why that this system, not always. There's some very good people that have done very well financially. Don't tell me that, the wealthiest of the wealthiest, the club that you're not in, that I'm not in, that's for some reason, if you get a McMansion north of I-40, you think I'm talking to you, and I'm not talking to you. It's that's being a narcissist or a sociopath is beneficial.
Oh yeah.
Very beneficial to achieve, and there's a lot of guys that have achieved. I mean, look at Donald Trump. I like him, but come over like that. Just think if he was, I don't know what he's worth, but if he's worth, you see Donald Trump with a supermodel, and you go, "There's a guy that owns an airplane." You know what I mean?
There's a guy who doesn't have authentic friends for somebody to go, "Hey, dude, what's up with the hair?"
Yep,
It should be a crime to be a billionaire. It's actually a crime against humanity. It's that, hey, look, I can exploit people better than anybody else, and I can exploit the earth. Give me more.
Well, you're going to make a lot of people mad saying that, because when they see that big house on the hill that's behind the gate, what they've been taught to say is, you know what? I see you up there. I'm going to join you soon. But
one day.
Here's the problem, though, which they used to be true. We're not in the top 20 anymore. America's not in social mobility.
Really?
That's the American dream.
It is.
I remember when we dropped out of the top 10, I was going like, you got to be kidding me. Now we're not in the top 20. And no one seems to notice. Everybody's fixated on drag queens reading from a book entitled Two Queer Ducks. Yeah, you know, the important stuff.
The important stuff.
Or two guys in San Francisco that get married.
Right.
That you'll never meet in your life. How they're going to affect the sanctity of your marriage in Bemis.
And you're probably divorced.
Oh, well, it could be. That's probably why it's those two gay guys in San Francisco.
They did it.
Yeah. So, Josh, it's easy. We are like cats, and they have the laser-like pointer. You know what I mean? I think we got an entire generation suffering from attention deficit.
I agree.
About what?
The latchkey kids, our generation, watching television all the time.
Well, yeah.
I think it did something.
The Pepsi generation. Jeez. What's your age, Josh?
I announced the year zero. I announced the year zero just the other day on the lunch hour of 96.5.
How'd that go?
But I had to redact that. So,
well, why?
Any day now. Any day now. Let's make a thing about it, because the social change movement is going to do more for to transform life than the vote or the politician ever will. There's strength in numbers.
What kind of social change? I'm just curious.
Like consensus government, participatory, egalitarian, a beautiful
extreme
paradise
left wing
for all. Yes, extreme love. Yeah.
Extreme left wing.
Because we enter the realm of the circular vessel, to where there's mutual guarantee as the connection between us. We are in harmony with the system of nature. See, this money and the profit motives throws us out of balance with nature, and that's why we have wars and disasters after plague and famine. You know, year zero just around the corner.
Well, it's Gina, are you picking up what he's laying down? Josh,
we're talking about the extreme left wing and more like a socialism, communism sort of mindset.
Utopia. I'm a utopian.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's not saying left or right. I did read a book that I found interesting several years ago on what would replace society. What form of economy would it be? Capitalism? Would it be socialism? Would it be communism?
A post-scarcity world.
It would, if a disaster on the level of, let's just say, the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
If a meteor direct hit planet Earth, wipes most life out, the survivors, of course, would have to go underground for, let's just say, a year. When they finally climb their way back up to surface level and then rebuild society, that they would never build capitalism, they would never build socialism, they would, capitalism or communism, all that stuff would be in the trash heap of history. This book read that we would say, look, we've got to learn from what we've just been through here. That it's not worth it to chase your tail and to work 40, 60, 70 hours a week. We're going to live off the land. Yeah, we're going to build houses. We're going to have some comforts. But we're going to spend most of our time enjoying life with the people we love. That's what we're going to do.
Why doesn't that work with human beings? Is there any modern society that exists like that?
They wouldn't be called modern, but yeah, there are a few societies like that are kind of detached from what we call society. In the industrialized world, they're detached from that. We call them savages a lot of times. And but there was Bikini Island. You know the story of Bikini Island?
Yes.
Only problem is we found Bikini Island.
Right.
We tested some nuclear bombs. Think about, they loved their lifestyle. Well, they did. And
I mean, that's happened throughout human history.
now they've got spam and they're all fat. No kidding. Yeah, I mean, seriously. Bikini, that's where
They're
the bikini.
Americanized.
Yeah, spam. That's a lot better than a coconut, I
You know
tell you
that's
that.
so popular in Hawaii. Have you ever
That's
noticed
the same-
that? Yeah.
Yes.
Spam.
Spam. And, yeah, then we wouldn't spend our time doing, seeing how much credit card debt we can pile up and then chasing it.
Right.
We wouldn't spend our time with kids graduating from college or leaving college without a degree, and you have this mountain of debt. You have a mortgage but no house, essentially. You start out behind the eight ball because that's the way the system is, to keep you in debt, so you keep showing up to those jobs. Now, I'll tell you the reason why we can't do it is the same reason why that when Wall Street bankrupted the world, because all the regulations were relaxed and we went on the honor system. They seem like nice guys. They'll do the right thing.
Greed. That's why it won't work.
That's
greed.
That's why you have to have regulations, or greed will eat capitalism alive.
Yes, and the environment and humanity with it, definitely.
Right. So when those regulations were relaxed on Wall Street, there was only one outcome ever possible. They knew it. Same thing with the banking industry when it comes to mortgages, subprime lending. Seriously.
Has anything changed from all that, 2007, 2008?
Yeah,
Anything?
it did. The regulations were, but they do this. The Bush administration relaxed all those regulations. Government's not the solution; it's the problem. Here we go again. Because what people don't understand is we are the government. We're supposed to be.
We're supposed to be.
And then, so the regulations are relaxed, and it's a party. Cocaine, strippers' bellies, all this stuff. And now you ain't invited, but I'm saying it is. And
You sound like that guy, the Wolf of Wall Street.
That's yeah. That was a great movie. What was that they took and they were old and they kicked in later? You want to talk about a great job of acting, man? Leonardo DiCaprio is a heck of an actor.
He is. I love him.
So they tanked the total economy, and here's what you got to understand. The people that tanked it, no one went to jail.
No.
They kept their jobs, and we, the people, had to bail them out because they were too big to fail. Now, that's not socialism when they rob us and we pay to keep their business going because they tell us they're too big to fail. That's another way of saying you're too small to succeed. We're too big to fail. All right? That's not socialism. What socialism is that money that they take from the taxpayers and they give it to, here, put those on right there. So, what's socialism if we the people benefit from it? Because the status quo will tell us, oh, that's socialism. Not when we take it from you, but when you take it from us. That's why when we pay the Cadillac healthcare bills for politicians, lifelong benefits, that's not socialism. If they're benefiting from it, it's only socialism if the people
benefits
benefit.
the people?
Yes.
That's when it's socialism.
That's when it's social. That's when they scare the out of you and say, hey, look, everybody's going to hell, straight to hell. If you're
going to have to wait 4 years to have an appendectomy.
Yeah. Yes, that's what they'll start saying.
That's
People
what they'll
make,
say.
oh, geez.
Social medicine is just horrible.
The lines are so long. They're so long. But then you see Canada, Australia, all these other countries, and they actually can vote during your elections if they don't like the healthcare system to do something else, and they always vote it back in. But you really have to. Most Americans don't leave the state that they're born in.
Really?
Most Americans don't travel, and certainly they don't travel. I'll look the number up. It would amaze you the percentage of Americans that have never left this country on traveling outside this country.
What is that famous quote? Is it Mark Twain about education is travel? I think it is.
The cure for racism
is travel.
It's travel. Yes. And Mark Twain was so far ahead of his time. Twain said that he was asked if he was in fear of dying. He said, I was dead for billions of years before I was ever born, and it never once inconvenienced me. Yeah. Is that right, Josh?
I'm in, man.
Yeah. Were you taking notes, or?
Yeah, I was actually. Shelby, that was result of greed because it's enlightened self-interest. It's not greed, because when I benefit more from sharing more, then everyone wins, because love is our currency. I was actually in a world movement.
Hey, well, I need some currency. Share the love.
What kind of love are we talking about?
We're talking about when I told Dan about it this morning. It's when I want your happiness to exist before mine, before my own. That's love.
He did say that this morning, that the definition of love is, let's say, Gina, you and I have been friends. I love you, Gina, and your happiness, put your happiness ahead of mine. That's true love. That's what Josh is saying.
Okay. I think I'm picking up what he's putting down now.
See?
Yeah.
Josh, I tell you, man, you're on target today. You really are. What's going on with you? I mean, you just feel good?
I can my website, Dan.
Oh, I see. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Walking around, man. Can I V2020 perfectvision.org. Make it happen.
Yeah, explain to Gina what you
there?
Yeah, Josh. Explain to Gina what your website is all about, and it's what is it? Unity 2020? Is that what it is?
It's V2020 perfectvision.org, and it's unity for all. It's a concrete plan, a blueprint for connecting everything in the right way, and then we reach this source called the Creator, and then we reach bestowal to the Creator, sharing to the Creator, and it's the world of circular vessels. There's a lot to explain. That's why there's a lot of data on my website, or data, I like to say. And it's very interesting. If you're interested, that's all that's required. There's no fees. And it's the 2020 with an S, because I'm covering the whole decade. 1 year of this decade, the world is going to get on a common discourse, and we're going to unite. And I mean, we've already done that in 2020 with the virus or whatever.
I love your optimism. I really do.
Thank you. Next time, let's make it a positive discourse, like some real, like, how are we going to resolve your neighbor's problems, or so on and so forth. I think you get the picture. But the website makes it even more lucid, I believe.
Do you have any suggestions on how to do this? Are there action steps on the website?
Yes, there's action steps. There's, for example, one of the parts of our social contract we have in our family bylaws are the Free World Charter. There's 10 rules that everybody basically agrees to, because I don't see who would disagree with. You can look that up at thefreeworldcharter.org. And yeah, there's other things similar to that. I think Colin Turner is trying to have a movie produced about his book, F Day. I forgot the end of the title, but it's F Day. It's a very interesting book. You can find it in the Chester County Library here, where I gave my autographed copy.
I love to go to the library. It's been a long time.
Right on. Well, yeah, it's right at the street.
Josh. Thank
up?
Thank you, big guy. I mean, it's you're beginning to lauder. You've been here for a while. What I'm saying is, that was fantastic stuff. You know, I love you, and I appreciate your support all these years. Josh and I have been talking on the radio for nearly 20 years, right, Josh?
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's been since about 2008 or so. Yeah, and the big whammer back in 2012, Dan. Sorry about that, man.
What happened?
I'm just joking.
What did you say? What'd you say? I couldn't understand what you said. The big what in 2012?
Big whammer when the corporations all became foreclosed on, and the big news broke about banks and governments being foreclosed worldwide.
Oh, there's
Young people suffer stress.
2008.
Yeah, sorry.
2007, the Great Recession.
Yeah, that was 2012, actually. There's a Merry Christmas when the Mayan calendar flipped over.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
okay,
yes,
yeah.
that's right. Oh, yeah, you had you all upset. He thinking the world was going to come to an end. He went
The calendar ran out completely.
Yes. He went so far as to made the extreme move of sleeping with his shoes next to his bed. That was funny.
Hardcore.
Yeah. Josh, hey, listen, I appreciate you very much. Anything we can do for you?
Well,
Give any questions or
I can't
comments?
think right now, man. Until next time, Dan.
Thank you.
I would like to get your response, actually, to OPPT.
OPP? Are you down with OPP?
One People's Public Trust. Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, you know me.
Have a good night, sir.
Okay, all right, bye. Josh, my man. That's what I was waiting for. That's the bell. If you run too long,
You get a bell?
I don't like to be rude. Now you get the first one. That just lets you know to start ramping it up.
Gotcha.
You hear the second one. That'll let you know. Okay, you need to shut it down because it's just like a gunshot. They say you never hear the shot that kills you. You'll never hear the third.
How do you know? How would they know if you never hear the shot because you're dead?
I just want to take their word for it. It's logical that you would never hear the shot that killed. I don't think Kennedy heard the shot that killed him. You know what I'm saying?
He heard the first shot.
Yeah. But
The second one came from the grassy knoll.
Yep. They had him in a turkey shoe. Why would you bury evidence on a lone gunman for 75 years? You know?
I know. That whole situation is a huge cover-up on something.
Well, some people I know that are pretty strong, and they have inside knowledge. They think it was a coup to take the government over.
I read this book about it was really an accident. The CIA had all been out getting drunk last night. No?
Oh, no. Now, I could go along with that if they'd have... But that pristine bullets, that's... You don't...
That's
Without technology worth a damn by today's standards, they were able to identify the lone gunman and find him in a movie theater 5 minutes after the shoot.
Right.
Come on, man. You know what I mean?
And then he said he was a patsy. You know, most people who do those sort of political assassinations are proud of it, and they have a manifesto.
That's true. Yeah.
He said he was a patsy.
Well, same James Earl Ray. That's the same one. Now, I think they did clean up any mistakes. But the point of the person, the two people that told me they do believe it was a coup to take over the government, the damning evidence is always in the aftermath.
The cover-up.
The cover-up is yes, a great point of the pristine bullet. Just happened to be laying on the stretcher after.
It had gone through like 5 places.
Yes,
yeah.
that was the magic bullet, was unblemished. But, and in the aftermath of what happened to the country after that, Kennedy was in the beginning stages of pulling our troops out of Vietnam before it escalated into war. He was about to shut the doors on the CIA and the central bank.
Yes.
He just thought, for some reason, he just couldn't get his arms around the idea of a private bank that was paid to print money for the taxpayers.
I don't understand.
What a gig that is.
I mean, how do you get signed up for that?
Well, a president from Tennessee, one of the two, Andrew Jackson, on his deathbed, said the thing he was most proud of was crushing the central bank.
Yeah.
It went away. So they met at Jekyll Island and said, hey, we need to bring this back because that's a great gig to be able to print money